Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video sort of defending my opinion, giving my thoughts on basically why The Walking Dead Season 3 is my favorite season of Walking Dead so far. Alright, so spoiler warning if you haven't seen Season 3 yet. No, I mean, so I wanted to do this video because after seeing the first half of Season 5, when Season 5 first started, I was like, this is going to be the best season ever, no question about it. This is going to just smash everything after seeing the premiere and everything, because it got off to such a strong start. And now that we've seen the first half, of course, we haven't seen the entire season. We'll have to see how it kind of ends and everything. But, man, I'm starting to think that this season might be like The Walking Dead season to beat, at least to me. Now, with this topic, I've talked about this in Q&As before, too. People are all over the place in this topic, absolutely everywhere on it, and some people's favorite is Season 1, some people's favorite is Season 4, Season 5, Season 2. You know, you have every different combination, and I did not see kind of a definitive one season that people were thought were better than the others, like that stood out of all the different comments that I saw. So what I've done is basically, since Season 5 is on break, I've been watching a little bit of Season 3 again, watched the first 4 or 5 episodes of it, going through it, have it on DVD here, because I have every season on DVD. Plus, I should add them to the backdrop. By the way, did you guys see I got a Sheriff Rick now? He's right there. So that's kind of cool. So put him in the background. Maybe I'll show him in a further video. But just kind of a video because I wanted to do it just for myself, just because, this is a fun topic to talk about, what your favorite season is. So now this is something different for everybody, like I said. So for me, I'm basically going to give my thoughts on why this is my favorite season. And this is a weird one because this was run by, the showrunner's name was Glen Mazzara, and he actually was let go after Season 3. Now, what happened was during Season 2, about halfway through, going into the second half, Frank Darabont got into a dispute with AMC because AMC was filling out the show too much. They were not offering the kind of quality that Darabont wanted to do with the show and felt like they needed to do, and they weren't putting up the budget, and there was this big ruckus and everything, and there's still lawsuits going on about it right now. Even to this day, yeah, there's open lawsuits from Darabont suing AMC for his rights to The Walking Dead, since he felt like he, created the series and he was wrongfully dismissed, which may be true. I may agree with him. But the person who took over was Glen Mazzara, and he took over for the second half of Season 2 and Season 3, all of Season 3. And then Season 4, it switched to Scott Gimple, who was also involved with writing for Season 3 as well. So it's not like Gimple had nothing to do with it. He did, and how much does just the showrunner do? They handle kind of the general direction as executive producer, but they're kind of like the head honcho of the show, and they kind of see the overall direction of where it's going to go for a season or however long they're on the show, for the entire show. So, we can't say that he's responsible for absolutely everything in the season, in Season 3, but he had this different approach to The Walking Dead that we haven't seen since he's been gone, I feel like. Since Season 4, after the end of Season 3, the show has changed a lot into a different kind of direction that they've been doing with it. If you guys remember to Season 2, the second half, right out of the gate, the season becomes like an action, zombie apocalypse action series. You've got like Nebraska, Triggerfinger, 18 Miles Out, Judge, Jury, and Executioner, which was there's a little slow stuff there. Better Angels, and then Beside the Dying Fire. But it definitely was better than the first half, because there was a lot of filler and stuff like that in the first half, aside from pretty much Dead Already in the earlier episodes. So, right out of the gate, when he took over, it's like we started to see a lot more action, a lot more things happening. Now, Season 3, I was doing some reading online from his perspective and what he had everybody do for Season 3, is he wanted to shoot it like it was like a war, like a war type zombie apocalypse season, and it's like he did that, all throughout the season. From the beginning, we're just at a crazy fast pace. In the first episode, boom, they break into the prison, they kill all these zombies outside. There's a lot of emphasis on how they're killing all these zombies and how it's going, and kind of the overall kind of zoom out, look of what it looks like for them to go in hand to hand and just start, destroying all these walkers. Very action intensive. going on from there, we had Sick, of course, where you have Herschel, who was bitten in the leg. They removed the leg, everything like that. You had Thomas and the prisoners. And then from there, Walk With Me, which was the governor's first episode, as he basically steals a bunch of stuff from some military with the crashed helicopter, military personnel. You've got Andrea and Michonne, who find their way there. You've got Merle, who's reintroduced back. Killer Within. You have the double death episode, which something I want to talk about a bit too, where you have two characters that are killed off, two big characters that are killed off. One at random where it doesn't seem like he was going to. And we don't really get that anymore. I mean, not very often, where you'll just have a character be killed kind of out of nowhere, and you lose that sense of security that we're going to see a character developed before they get killed off. They're going to get like big episodes before they get killed off. At this time, it was like, that kind of unpredictability was there. You wouldn't be able to say, okay, this, it looks like maybe Carol, or it looks like Beth, or they've been getting a lot of time, so it's going to be Herschel, and then it is. No, it's like sometimes there's just this random character that gets killed off. Now, it sucks that they don't develop him so much, but at the same time, it adds to our sense of excitement and not knowing, that uncomfortable not knowing what's happening, and also kind of Mazzara's kind of outlook on it, that in war, there's going to be casualties on both sides. In war, there's going to be, things like this, and then people are going to have to deal with those losses and still find a way to fight, right, between these two groups as this kind of battle begins and goes through. So the first half of the season was incredible, obviously, really exciting all the way through. Tons of action, but not as scary as previous. And a lot of the shooting, most of it was done like during the day. You had a lot of kind of open battle type situations, a lot of gunfire, a lot of things like that happening, more so than probably any other time in the series if you look at it as a season. Aside from maybe like Too Far Gone, where you have a big battle or something, but just a lot of little battles all throughout kind of the season. Hounded, kind of gave me a Predator feel, where you have like Michonne, then you have like Merle, and he's chasing after her, and then he captures Glenn and Maggie, and then Michonne finds the prison. We have the mid-season finale with the whole rescue, the Suicide King type thing. Home, which was incredible. Again, more action. The governor attacking, shooting Axel down. Lots of gunfire, lots of craziness, lots of things happening. I Ain't a Judas, which had some great Merle stuff. Clear, which one of my favorite episodes ever, bringing Morgan back into the fold. And then here's where I think they ran out of material around this time. Now, I can't find an actual episode, but this was part of the reason why Mazzara was actually let go, or why it didn't work out, was because they had ran out of material by this time. So, now why is that exactly? Only probably the people behind the screen, people who are involved with the production, they'd be the only ones that really would know, because a lot of it's not public, it hasn't been public, but they ran out of stuff to do. They ran out of content because, and I think the reason why is because they set it at such a fast pace, and it was going through so quick. We meet the prisoners, and within like one episode, they're dead, or at least Thomas is dead. Andrew, yeah, he kind of comes out and then comes back, but you see how like villains are brought in, boom, killed, brought out. Like, it's just, the pace is so fast that things are happening constantly. It's like an action movie type pacing, but at 16 episodes. This is just like, wow, how can you keep up this kind of pace, right? Home is another example where you just have big battles and stuff. And then I think Clear, Arrow on the Doorpost, Prey, I think those are the episodes where they kind of ran out of stuff, and so they kind of filled it out a bit, to tell you the truth. Like, Prey is the episode where you have the governor, like Andrea, she tries to get away, the governor doesn't let her. Now, I liked it. It had kind of a horror, chasing, anxiety type storytelling approach to it. But I think that's where they were kind of running out of things. And then here's the thing. Now, the season ends. Okay, you have This Sorrowful Life, which, to be honest, that could have been the finale right then and there. But then after that, you have Welcome to the Tombs. Now, This Sorrowful Life was incredible. Again, the ending of it was very action-based, very, very cool, man. And finally, Welcome to the Tombs, where this one, to me, now I might, when I'm saying this, to me, I don't have any actual credible information saying for sure this is what happened, but the fact they were running out of stuff, it almost tells me that they never really planned on the governor's story arc being one season. I think they always kind of wanted it to be more than that, but I think they were going through content so fast, and it was at such a fast pace, that they pretty much at that time were about ready, I think, to probably end the season off, because the season didn't have much filler all throughout, and the pacing was too quick, right? Like, the pacing of the show was too fast, and they hadn't added in enough stuff. They were just burning through comic book material so fast. Whereas, like, if you look at the first season, or like the first season of The Walking Dead, all 6 episodes is like one trade, you know? The second season all the way through is like, I guess it's like another trade, or maybe 2 with 13 episodes. Then season 3, which is the prison, which is a huge story arc in the comic book series, which goes on for many trades, many issues, tons of issues. And they just burned through it all to the point where at the end of the season, people were like, the governor, this is going to be too far gone. The governor's going to be either killed off, or, some of that's going to happen. The prison's going to be destroyed, and that's going to be it. And I almost feel like they're like, whoa, hold on a second. We can't just finish the prison story arc in one season. It's like, wow. We went through all of this content, Merle, Andrea, Lori, T-Dog, all this stuff, Rick going crazy and everything, in one season. One season. It's like, what? How could you go through that so fast? But that's the pace that it's at. There's not a lot of slow parts where you have characters just walking around in the woods talking to each other, where the time just ticks and ticks and ticks and you're going through. No, they didn't have, stuff like that season. Season 3, there's a little bit, but for the most part, it's flat out action and things being dealt with quickly and going through quickly, and just a really exciting, awesome season all the way through. Now, the ending, of course, they didn't want to finish off with having the governor, be straight up killed off in that finale or anything, and have that, because, to be honest, we had already had enough. We had Merle get killed off, we had, Axel and home, and seeing Morgan again, which was really special, and all the stuff previous to that. It's like we had had enough. So, going on from there, season 4, doesn't it feel like, at least for me as I watched it, the pacing was like totally different. Too Far Gone was huge, but that's episode 8. But look at episodes 1 to 8. You had like the governor's buildup, where he gets 2 whole episodes of him taking over another group and then going to the attack. So it's 3 whole episodes of that one attack, versus like Home, where rather than getting like a whole build up to it, Andrea's just like, hey, where's the governor? And then Carol's having a conversation with Axel, and boom, he's dead. And that's it. It's just a totally different type of pacing, I want to say. And even previous to that, you had like the illness and stuff that was going on early season 4. The second half of season 4, way slower paced than season 3. A lot of wandering around, characters coming in, some exciting stuff, but a lot of, just a lot slower of a pace of the show. And then season 5, with the Hunters, they blew through that really quick. That was pretty fast paced, I got to admit. But after that, the rest of the half season was really, a lot slower and a lot less action oriented. And a lot of people were upset with Coda because they were kind of expecting it to be, a little bit more action-oriented, maybe more of a gunfight, maybe more of that kind of thing. If Glen Mazzara was running it, I think that's what we probably would have got. So it's a weird one, because, nowhere am I saying do I think he's as good as Frank Darabont. Of course, Frank Darabont, legendary director and everything. And Scott Gimple has done an insane job. And a whole season doesn't come down to just one person. There's so many people involved, and writers, and the acting, and different characters, and the direction, and where the show naturally is at that point. There's just so many different things happening. But maybe that's the reason why I like season 3 the best, is just because it really had this kind of like one group versus another type military, war type standoff. I've seen the Rick thing where it says, it's a meme or mime. We're going to war, but first we're going to talk about it for 4 more episodes. So to be honest with you, it's a little clunky here and there sometimes season 3, especially the second half. Like where they just talk for absolutely no reason, really, because they just end up, wanting to kill each other anyway with the Michonne thing. But, just a really different feel from how the show was afterwards, and a lot of concentration on some really, really cool characters. They turned Merle into this, hitting the beachhead type of just, scary, warrior type, predator type, I don't know, action star at the end there. And it got me, man. I loved it. It got me. So I kind of wanted to just do a video giving my thoughts on why season 3 is my favorite season. Aside from it being unpredictable, having the most, probably the most character death heavy compared to some of the others like season 4, season 5. but just the pacing being so different, of things happening more quickly. But the downside of it is that when they go at that kind of a pacing, you're not going to get 15 seasons out of a show at that pace. You just can't. You'll go through the comic book content way too fast. If they were still going with that kind of pacing, season 4 would have probably been like, they could have cut out so much stuff. All the sickness stuff could have been removed. A lot of the wandering around stuff could have been shrunk down like crazy. And, they could have gone through we're talking about a condensing of, I'd say, 2 to 3 seasons into one season. Like they could have taken in season 3 the prisoners story arc with Thomas and the others. They could have extended that a lot. They could have done a lot of different things at this new kind of pacing that the show has. So my intention is not to sway people's opinions so that everybody thinks season 3 is the best. That's not my intention. Some people think season 2 is the best because they love what they did with Shane. Season 1 was super high quality, of course, directed by Frank Darabont at the premiere, and all the others, just awesome episodes. Season 4 was still incredible. Too Far Gone was still amazing. I really like to see kind of that slower pace too sometimes, because it kind of feels more chill. It kind of feels more like relaxed, and more like you can watch it. You can kind of relax a bit more. It's not always so fast-paced and tense all the time with, battle and stuff like that. And that's not, The Walking Dead is not just about, war battle, right? And it's not supposed to be really an action show. It's supposed to be like a horror character, concentration, character development type series, maybe similar to something like Breaking Bad or something like that, where it really focuses a lot on the characters, their development, and survival horror in a zombie apocalypse. So I feel like the approach they're taking now will work better in the long run. I think that, at that kind of a pacing, you really wouldn't get 10 to 15 seasons. They would be caught up to the comic book series in no time. But with this current pacing, the way they're going, they're adding a lot of things in. Like Beth gets a whole story arc when she's not even a character in the comic book series. And you have a lot of things that are expanded. More like, instead of just having the Hunters, we have Terminus. We have all the stuff that happened with that. They're really adding a lot of stuff, slowing down other parts, concentrating on characters more than they did. And that's going to allow us to get a lot more seasons out of The Walking Dead, and for it to still be good. I mean, you can still have action at parts. I'm not saying that season 4 and 5 don't have big action at parts. I just see season 3 as just this back and forth war type action fest with everything it does, and I love it. I don't know why, but definitely it from season 2 and kind of the way that the group was then, where you focus on like one group with not that many characters and just their survival, to season 3 where you have two, like the groups, like the governor's group's huge, and you've still got that other group there with Rick and the others, having them face off and characters dying and all kinds of craziness and zombies everywhere and Merle and Daryl, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So that's why season 3 is my favorite season. For anybody who was wondering, now you know. But that doesn't mean it has to be your favorite season. Write your favorite season down below in the comments and give me your thoughts on the different takes of the different seasons we've had of The Walking Dead. Season 3, season 2, season 4, and I got one, and it's in the box there somewhere. And kind of which one's your favorite, because they all have their own unique different feels to them. None of them really feel like, sometimes it feels like a different show, to tell you the truth. You have all different characters in different seasons, and different concentrations, different locations. The show changes a lot, it evolves a lot. So let me know what you guys think about all that. Just kind of want to do this video just for fun, giving my thoughts, and just getting it out there for myself, because I always like to think of, okay, what was like the best part, For me, season 3 is the season to beat. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know if season 5 ends up beating it in the second half. We'll see. I'll let you know. Season 6, however that goes, and it's been confirmed. Yes, it has. And we'll see how it goes from there. But you can't have every season like that. You just can't. It just wouldn't. I almost want to say that's not The Walking Dead, really. Even though it clearly is, right? But that's not. That's not really what The Walking Dead is all about, at least I don't think. It's not supposed to be an action fest, is what I'm saying. It's not supposed to be, with gunfire everywhere and all kinds of, stuff like that. It's good to get that when you get that, like All Out War, for example. That's what they should do. When they do All Out War, they should bring Glen Mazzara back. Call him up, say sorry, bring him back, get him to do All Out War. That's what I say. It's season whatever it's going to be, 8 or 7 or whatever, probably something like that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of that, and I'll stop talking now. I'm going on quite a bit. So if you like the video anyway, please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, please share it, please favorite it. And that's it. That's why season 3 is my favorite season, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. As always, it's Trev. Same peace.